Oh hey, go grab yourself a cocktail and I'm going to show you how to make a brand board on Canva. Creating branding in your business is important. It's what makes you stand out and it's what makes people recognize you and your business. Hey, welcome to Brow Tap. This is for beauty artists who want to build a successful business, grow your clientele, make more money, and be the go-to in what you do. I'm Alex, your host, a beauty entrepreneur. In the last 9 years, I have built a successful microblading studio, microblading product line, and online education platform, and now I want to help you do the same thing. Are you ready to be the go-to in what you do? Let's dive in. There are many aspects to branding, such as your message, what you stand for, how you make people feel, but I want to focus on visual branding today. Since as beauty artists, we have beautiful things to showcase. So let's lean into that. The goal of creating visual branding is for people, aka your current and potential clients, to recognize that your content, your posts, your flyers, that they're yours. They associate what they are seeing with your business before you even share the name of your business or the logo. Kind of like the Doritos branding commercials where they actually don't say Doritos at all, but we know that that's what it's about. So what is included in your visual branding? Well, it's colors, fonts, textures, and like a theme or a vibe, whatever you want to call it. And this should run through your whole business, the colors, the fonts. You should be using the same on your Instagram post as on your website, as in your print marketing, as in the signs on your business door. Keeping it consistent is what creates the brand. Now, choosing this is personal, of course, and will be based on your personality, the personality of your actual business that you're bringing into the business, the services you offer, and your target audience or ideal clients. The best way to find and start creating inspiration for your branding is, well, my favorite way is on Pinterest. Start scrolling Pinterest, create a board for your brand, and start pinning things that you like to this board that you can incorporate into your brand. And then this will be something to refer back to. And the cool thing about Pinterest is the more you pin stuff that's similar to your branding or your inspiration, the more of it you're going to see. From there, you can create a brand board on Canva, and this is what I'm going to show you exactly how to do today in this video. And this brand board is going to be inspiration for your content and your theme, but also a reference for creating your color codes, your fonts, so that you can go to one place and have it all there laid out for you. So let's dive in. Let's create your brand board in Canva. So from your Canva homepage, you can type in the search brand board, as simple as that. And they have a whole bunch of templates already made that we can just basically use and fill in our own brand information. So super easy. We don't actually have to create anything. We're just filling in our own cool colors, fonts, vibes from there. So pick whichever one you like. I'm going to pick the first one because it attracts me with the colors, but I also really like the layout. So I think this one is going to work really great for us for today's example, but choose whichever one you like. The first piece of the brand board that we're going to start with, that we're going to create, is the color scheme for your brand. I think this is one of the most important pieces because without the colors, it's hard to build a whole brand around it. So here you can see that there's little circles that have colors in them, and underneath they have a number sign with a code. So that is actually the color code for your color that you choose for your brand. And if you know that color code, you can implement it anywhere. So you can implement it on Instagram, on your website, if you're creating print marketing in, let's say, Vistaprint. So if you know that code, you can use the exact shade of your color everywhere. So black is one of my shades, so we'll implement black. White is one of my shades as well. And then another one of my shades is purple. So I already have my brand colors saved here. I actually have this code for the purple memorized, but you don't need to do that. You can just copy and paste it from your brand board. That's why you're creating this. So you can fill them in. I think it's important to have at least 3 colors for your brand, a dark color, a light color, and then a pop of color, but you can add more here. If you don't yet have your colors picked for your brand, keep watching because I'm going to show you how to pick a color from your inspo photos from Pinterest. The next important part of your brand, of course, is your logo. So we want to put that right on the top. So I'm going to put the main logo, and my main logo has a black background. So I've changed the black background to black. And then the logo for Brow Tab itself is white. So I already have my logo saved into Canva, so I'm just going to load it in. But if you don't already have that done, I can show you how to do that in another video. So you just load it in background free and replace the templated content with your logo. If it's the other way around or you have different color schemes, be sure to create it in your own branding. Don't just copy mine. Since there's text already below the logo in this template, I am going to just add in my Brow Tab catchphrase or a little bit about the business. This is totally up to you. I'm just adding this so you can see what you can do with this branding board here. Next up, we're gonna pull in some of that inspo that you created on Pinterest and load these photos at the bottom in this template here. So I've already drag and dropped these inspo photos into Canva, and now I'm just dragging them into the photo section, and since it's already templated, they go right and fit the size perfectly. So these are my photo inspos, and the cool thing with these is if you want to grab a color from these photos, if you don't have branded colors yet, click on the photo, and then the top where you see the little color circle, you can click on that and then click back on that little color circle again and click on the little dropper. And from there, you can move around each photo and it'll basically grab that color. You can save the color code and then add that to your branding. So let me show you how you can do it again with the other photo. So different shades of gray, it changes the photo, but that's fine for now. Just copy and paste the color, and then we can go put it in the color swatch for our brand board. See how the color changes there. And we make sure we save that color code so we can use it in the future. And then from here, we'll just delete that photo because it changed it and then pull this one back in. Easy. Now we are going to choose the fonts for your branding. So you have two different font kind of styles and not necessarily sizes, but they can be sizes too here. Have at least two, but you can definitely have more. I wouldn't have more than three because that can get a little bit confusing, but generally you want one as a title and one more as a text font. So I already have ones that I use regularly. They're saved in here, but you can scroll through Canva, playing with different fonts, find ones that suit your brand if they want to be more fun, if they want to be more bold, if you want some script. If you do use script, please be careful with the script. Make sure it's legible. Play around with lots of different words so you can see each letter. And so save them here so you can see what it looks like, and then also add the name of the font underneath your little font logo so you see both sizes of it. One of them you can see, the Bebas one, is double capital, and that's because it only is in capitals. So you want to take that into account as well, because potentially you may want fonts that have both small letters and capital letters as well. Next, they've left a space for a little brand strategy, brand write-up, so you can go ahead and type in your kind of brand concept about your brand, your story, something in there that you can potentially copy and paste and use often in your content. This is just a nice little brand reminder, the mood, the set, the tone for your brand. You don't necessarily need to add this to the board, but it's a nice addition. And finally, the two sections underneath your main logo you can use to bring in texture. You can see in this right hand one there's some texture to that background, or you can use it to bring in secondary logos. So if you have a different version of your logo, you can see how they used the create. They did it vertical and then they did it separated. You can use that as inspo for your brand, or if you have a different logo. So I do have a black Brow Tab logo that I put
Or if you have another version of your logo, sometimes it can be called a favicon. It's basically like a smaller, more condensed version of your logo, or even just a different one. You can put that in here. The other logo I sometimes use for Brow Tab is B-Tab, and that's my favicon. So we can put that in there if you want to see that for an example. In the right-hand square, I'm going to show you how you can bring some texture into your brand and how it's really easy to do using elements in Canva. In the left-hand menu, click on Elements, and then I'm going to type in black textured background, but you can type in anything, any color you want, different types of backgrounds, and I know that this is going to give me some really cool looking backgrounds. This one's kind of like a velvet, velour-y, totally loving this vibe with the inspo photo. So just going to drag that in as a texture that I can use in my brand as an inspiration, or even just like a background as I'm creating something. So now we have our full brand board here with our logos, our colors, our fonts, our inspo at the bottom, and even just a little bit about our brand. It's all ready to use to refer back to when we're creating content. And finally, you can create your brand board right in Canva by clicking on brands and then clicking on brand kits. I already have mine created. You can see here I have my husband's logo right in the front there. We need to change that out, but you can go in and you can actually edit it, and this is where you can save everything that you've just made on the brand board that we just made together, but right in Canva, so that when you're creating your content here, it's really easy. You just have the colors, all your brand colors there for you, your brand's font there for you. You can even load in those inspo photos. You can load into your logos. So it's easy to create the content in Canva. The reason why we have the brand board is for when we're creating outside of Canva, so that we can download that brand board, save it to a branding folder on our phone, and then be able to reference back to that when we're creating in Instagram or in other apps that we need to reference back our branding. So that is it. 2 ways to create a brand board to make your visual branding really easy, really recognizable, and easy for you to access and refer back to. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe. I put out new videos every week. I'll see you then.